Hello everyone, this is Professor Deepika from Sai Vidya Institute of Technology of Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Welcome all you to the video sessions that is the smart grid. So this is a subject smart grid and it is a subject which is there in a 8th semester of video syllabus and the subject code is 17EE831. So the module 1 of this smart grid is smart grid architectural design. So coming to a smart grid, so before going to a smart grid, we should know what is a grid. So then if we know about a grid, then we can know about what is actually a smart grid means. So here you can observe the first part is the introduction part. So first let us study what is an electrical grid. So electrical grid is nothing but what? It is a network or a vertical structure which consists of the generation, transmission and distribution and supported with the controls and devices to maintain reliability, stability and efficiency. So this is actually called as a grid. So grid means what? It is a vertical structure. So from a generating end to a distribution end, the structures or the parts which are come in a power system, which we call it as a grid. So the electrical grid is a main thing, and we could also call the electrical grid when we combine the many more natural resources power stations together. So when we combine many power stations together, so that we'll be having a reliability. That means what? The fault occurrence in the system will be very less, and the efficiency of the system may also increases. So that we call it as a grid. And the electrical grid is also supported with the controls and the devices to maintain the reliability, stability and efficiency. Now let us have a look on what is reliability, what is stability and what is efficiency. So what is reliability? It is the ability of the system to deliver expected service through both planned and unplanned event. So we'll in the power system, we are going to plan the day to day system. Like in the today, if we take a today thing, then in the today how much power we are going to generate and how much power we may consume. So that we call it as a planned event. So the unplanned event is nothing but what? Due to some natural disaster or due to some fault in the system, the system may not work properly. So that we called as a unplanned event. So the reliability of the system means what? It is the ability of the power system to deliver expected service, even though we have both as well as the unplanned event. During a planned event and during a unplanned event, if the power system deliver the expected service, then we call it as a reliable system. So therefore the electrical grid should be of reliable system. And power system stability is nothing but what? It is the ability of an electrical power system for given initial operating condition to regain a state of operating equilibrium after being subjected to a physical disturbance, with most system variables bounded so that practically the entire system remains intact. So that means what? The stability is nothing but what? If we take the for a given initial operating condition, the system should regain its equilibrium condition. Like if we have a power system, some unknowing event has occurred or some physical disturbance has occurred in the power system. Let's say we have a transmission line, and the transmission line has cut it down at some point. Okay, so it has broke down at some point. So that means what? The unexpected event has occurred, but the system should regain its initial condition once the event is cleared. So that is called as the stable system. If the unplanned event occurred also, so during that time, when the system regain its normal condition, the system should operating with the initial normal conditions. Like if I take a power system which is operating at a 5 kVA and some 11 kilovolt, and some physical disturbance has occurred. Due to that physical disturbance, and we are going to repair the system, or we are going to clear the event or unplanned event which has occurred. So during that time, when we repay the system, like before, what we had a 15 kVA, 5 kVA, 11 kilovolts, and once the system is repaired, the system should also work on the same initial parameter, that is the 5 kVA and 11 kilovolt. So that is called as the power stable system. And coming to efficiency, we all know that efficiency is nothing but what? It is nothing but output by input. That means what? The losses in the system should be reduced. So that is called as the efficient system. That means what? The power system should deliver a expected service with a minimum loss or with a negligible loss. So that we call it as a efficient system. So therefore, if I take a electrical grid, the power system should be reliable, and it should be stable, and it should be efficient. So these three conditions are very important in building a electrical grid. So the current electrical grid in India was built in 1890s and improved upon as technology advanced through the each decade. So today it has more than 9,200 electric generating plants with more than 1 million megawatts of generating capacity, connected to more than 3 lakh miles of transmission line. So our Indian electrical network was built in 1890, and it is having 9,200 electrical generating units, and we have and it is having a capacity of generating 1 million megawatt of power, and it has also been connected to a transmission lines of 3 lakh miles. That means what? We can transmit the power with a such a very long distance. And power demand as on 2021 January 20th was 1,85,820 megawatt. So what we could understand by this number means, so day to day the energy demand is being increased, because as human comfort is being increased, we are going to depend on the so many electronic and smart devices, and they also consume the electrical energy. So therefore the energy demand is keeps increasing, and it is increasing day to day. So India has an installed power generation capacity of 373.43 gigawatt. And here you can see here you can observe the vertical structure of an electrical grid. We have a generation power plant over here. Let's say we have a thermal power plant. So from the thermal power plant, we are going to generate the power. We are going to generate the power at a suitable voltage. Let's say we are going to generate at a 11 kilovolt, and this 11 kilovolt voltage or the power cannot be transmitted to a very long distance, because if we transmit that power, there will be so much of loss which is associated with that. So therefore we have to use a step up transformer, and that step up transformer will increases the voltage level. So once the voltage level increases, the losses will be reduces, and the volume of copper conductor requirement is also reduces. So therefore we are going to step up the voltage, and this is called as the generation. And here we are going to step up the voltage, and this stepped up voltage will be transmitted through a transmission lines. And we have a substation. So in the substation, we are going to use a transformer, that is a step down transformer. Let's say we have stepped up the voltage from 11 kilovolt to 220 kilovolts, and this voltage has been transmitted over transmission line. And we have a step down transformer in the substation, wherein the voltage will be reduced from let's say from 220 kilovolts to 11 kilovolts again. And this 11 kilovolts voltage will be transmitted to a residential purpose or to an industrial purpose through a distribution lines. And here let's say we have transmitted 11 kilovolt voltage, and we have a step down transformer again nearby our home, so wherein 11 kilovolts will be stepped down to a 430 kilovolts, or which will be stepped down to a 415 volts three phase. And from the three phase line we can tap the single phase power. So this is how the electrical network is being built in a power system. And here also you can observe we have a generating station, and we have a step up transformer near a generating station which is going to step up the voltage. And this step up voltage may be 765 volts, 500 volts, 345 volts, 230 and 138 kilovolts, or sorry, these will be of kilovolts range. And we have a transmission customer, like we have a industrial we have industries which may tap the power 138 kilovolts or 230 kilovolts. So if we have to if we have to supply that much amount of voltage, and that will be submitted to a particular industry. And next we have after a transmission line, we have a step down transformer nearby near a substation, wherein again the voltage will be reduced. So it may be reduced to a 26 kilovolts and 69 kilovolts, or 13 kilovolts, 4 kilovolts, or 120 volts and the 240 volts. So here you can observe, so this will be transmitted to a, or distributed to a sub-transmission customer, and we have a primary customer, and we have a secondary customer. Usually the primary customer will be commercial buildings and the industries, and here also this will be industries again. And we have a secondary customer, that means for residential purpose we are going to distribute. So this is how the electrical network is being built. So next, the factors which are affecting the performance of the existing grid. So the one thing is increase in the demand of the electricity. So why we need to improve the existing grid or the today's grid? Because first thing is increase in the demand electricity. So day by day, the electricity demand has been increasing in a steep manner, and we have to provide the expected demand with a minimum losses. So therefore, to improve the efficiency of the power system, we should have to move on to the smart grid, or we have to improve the performance of the existing grid. And the second thing is supply shortfalls of electricity. So sometimes there may be occurrence of unplanned event or the physical disturbance. So therefore the supply shortfall will be happening. So therefore we have to improve the performance of the grid. And need of reducing the losses. So the losses, actually if the losses increases, then we can't supply the expected demand. So therefore we should reduce the losses. So this also leads to an improvement of the existing rate. And peak demand management. So like if we take a one day, so during a peak hours, let's say from 8 to 10 a.m. or during a night time, what happened, the peak demand will be happening. That means what, everyone will be switching on the electrical appliances. So during that time we have to manage the peak demand. If not, the supply system if not, the power system will be in a failure condition. So therefore we have to improve the peak demand management, and therefore we have to improve the performance of the electrical grid. And integration of renewable energy generation system. As the demand is being increasing, so we have to generate more and more power. So more and more power can be generated if we integrate more and more renewable energy resources. That means what, if we trap the electricity from the renewable energy resources, then we can actually meet the today's electrical demand. So therefore the integration of the different power stations which are depending on a renewable energy resources, so which will actually leads to a demand, which will actually leads to a performance of existing grid. And solution to a global warming. Mainly the power will be generated by a thermal power plant. So from the thermal power plant, we know that so many greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide will be generated. So that will leads to a global warming. That means what, which increases the temperature of the earth, and subsequently it will damage the climatic conditions of the earth. So therefore we have to move on to a renewable energy resources, like which is actually a green energy resources. So therefore there is a need of giving a solution to the global warming. So therefore we have to improve the performance of the existing grid. And effective use of electric vehicles. Again, whatever the automobiles we are using, so that actually emits the carbon dioxide. So that again increases the global temperature, and again it damages the climatic conditions. So therefore we have to use the electrical vehicle which are eco-friendly vehicles, and that will improve the climatic conditions of the earth. So therefore the grid has to be improved. and better customer satisfaction. Sometimes if fault occurs, or sometimes something happens, means we can't continuously supply the power, and during the peak time we can't supply the more power, and so many times the load shedding will be happening. So therefore we have to satisfy the customer. If I want to satisfy the customer, then we actually have to improve the existing grid. And overcoming difficulties in meter reading. So usually the like the meter thefting will be happening, or power thefting will be happening. So therefore we have to improve the smart, we have to improve the meter, so that they'll become smart, and that will reach the good value. So therefore that is one of the need for improving the grid. And poor efficiency of conventional power generation system, like we have a thermal power plant, we have a steam power plant, we have a hydro power plant, we have wind power plant. So we have so many types of power plants available, but the efficiencies of those systems will be I mean the generation plan will be very less. So therefore we have to improve the efficiency of that system. In that regard, we have to improve the existing grid. So in the next video, let us discuss about the what is smart grid. So thanks for watching the video. Thank you, students.